Good evening. This is Shubhabrata Chaudhary from Calcutta. Project Zeta, Season 2, Episode 5. We were talking about the risk and its components. While we have already discussed about the social insurance for the imaginary plant or the construction area or the extended construction area of a plant and the stakeholders of this plant. There we have already discussed that employees for employees benefit there are different regulations in India also, ESI and other benefits like employees uh, pension fund is there, employees uh, yes, I have told this medical facility and uh, for the employees security, the employees insurance, employment insurances, and for the stakeholders, suppose the people who live nearby, where we have imagined a flood from a high precipitation or flash flood from high precipitation, the excess water, uh, excess water delivery from the upstream dam or the river basins, precipitation runoff or water runoff through the surface and groundwater towards the river, which is mostly the one of the most depressed place of the river basin. Now, here we shall discuss first the exposure and vulnerability, because before talking about the consequences, we should clearly understand the vulnerability and the exposure. Now, consequences we understand of a flood. This flood, one, the soil inundation, the forest destruction, the effect on flora and fauna, the livelihood, and the life and property. Suppose landslide also do this along with the floods. It happened already in this Badrinath region of India, and what we have discussed in season 1, that they already adapted with a different habitat which is made of concrete structures, 3 storied or 4 storied, and their maximum possible exposed who stayed over there. Now, consequence is that suppose the flood choked the abilities of the plant or the construction area. One, this is within plant. The outside plant, if it is a chemical plant, it can burst, it can have this different kind of chemical explosions and chemical release, which are not only pollutants, which are hazardous in many ways. They may be this corrosive, they may be reactive with other things, they may go directly to the downstream and pollute the river. The future fishing ability also can diminish. Now, exposure. I have seen that our United Nations in details always try to, World Economic Forum and other forums also, always try to aware people with their banners and programs. The positive news was like that the vulnerable people, or the people who are exposed to the threat of life, or the threat of losing the livelihood, or the threat of losing their habitat, they get refugee, they become refugee. They are called environmentally forced migrated people, like the Sundarbanas. These things happen everywhere. Now, suppose an indigenous people community is the stakeholders of the midstream or downstream of the river Siddaria, which is having the dam, the Soviet era dams on the upstream that may not be actually effective at the time of precipitation. And there is a chemical plant. Lot of plants are there now in Kyrgyzstan, in Kazakhstan, in Uzbekistan. We have already discussed about the fishing community of the Russia, who already left and made the ghost town alongside of the northern side of the Aral Sea. Again, another I am taking another this imaginary area I am taking anywhere downstream the Farakka Dam of on Ganges River. Many times Farakka Dam also deliver the intolerable, this year of water pressure. And next time we shall discuss more.